Did you know that dinosaurs became extinct 65 million years ago because of an asteroid? You probably did, but what if the asteroid said,
Nope, I ain't hitting the Earth today.
what if dinosaurs lived today? I am a big Jurassic World fan, and today we will be exploring the idea that these creatures that I admire still existed. Dinosaurs lived during the Mesozoic era, around 245 million years ago. Paleontologists have found that there were about 700 species of dinosaurs, from which you may recognize the Triceratops, the Apatosaurus, the Stegosaurus, the Spinosaurus, the Pterodactyl, the Velociraptor, and the almighty T-Rex. To be fair and square, dinosaurs are not actually extinct, at least not avian dinosaurs. Scientifically speaking, a dinosaur's DNA is closest to that of a bird instead of a lizard's, as weird as that may sound. So essentially, birds are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are straight ancestors of birds, and that explains why there are 10,000 species of birds around the world. But we are here to imagine what would have happened if the 15-kilometer wide asteroid with a power of 1 billion Hiroshima bombs actually missed its prehistoric target. First of all, the asteroid hit what we now know as the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. But if it had missed for just some kilometers and hit the water instead, the Caribbean Sea may have absorbed most of the impact and avoided the extinction of 75% of species on Earth. However you may imagine it, let's establish that dinosaurs survived that fatidic day 65 million years ago. Would they have been able to live on? Well, during this period of time, Pangea was starting its separation, changing habitats and environments. Dinosaurs have shown an incredible evolutionary ability, much greater than that of a mammal. It is the reason that they lived for over 150 million years on planet Earth. So they could have adapted to these environmental changes, but they may have shrunk in size since an herbivore diet would have provided less energy sources. They would have also had to survive the Ice Age, and cold-blooded creatures are not really meant for cold climates. Nevertheless, the answer would be yes. It is possible that these intelligent and capable creatures survived more years on the planet. But what about us? Humans, and mammals, and the world as we know it. We basically exist because the dinosaurs became extinct, allowing the mammals to rise and become the dominant creatures, later allowing human evolution to happen and thus modern life. If dinosaurs lived, mammals would have never risen or evolved, as they would have become easy prey. If mammals had stayed as a secondary or even tertiary species on the food chain, apes couldn't have existed and the human race wouldn't have either. There are some theories that state that the great ability of dinosaurs to evolve and adapt could have eventually led up to human life, or something close to it at least. I am not speaking of lizard people or humanoid animals that roam the earth. The theories state that these creatures could have adapted neurologically first, with a state of critical thinking on animals. Later on, with some changes in phenotype, perhaps communities or societies could have been born. But because of the unique way humans became humans, there wouldn't have been anything close to it. Bald, walking on two legs, wearing clothes and standing up straight. If we really become hopeful and stick to those theories where mammals were allowed to evolve and eventually give life to the first human, life would be unlike anything we could ever imagine. More questions about our interactions rise here. In what period of time would we have lived? Would we have to survive the Ice Age among dinosaurs? If mammoths and saber-toothed cats didn't exist, which creature would we have fed on? Would we fear carnotauruses instead of big tigers? Would we find warmth in feathery theropod's skin instead of a mammoth's pelt? And if we did found a way to coexist, would the human hunt instinct have eradicated dinosaurs anyways? Or would we have domesticated them all, having Stegosauruses as oxen, or perhaps Parasaurolopuses as horses? Maybe even Velociraptors would be considered dogs, and Ankylosauruses would have been the new rhino. If dinosaurs lived with humans for this long, They wouldn't even be exotic animals to be seen in a zoo. We would have grown with a dinosaur farm book instead of the classic one with the red barn in it we all grew up with. Birds wouldn't even exist. There would be huge winged reptiles. Cheese wouldn't even exist because milk wouldn't be a common food as dinosaurs did not produce milk and mammals were suppressed as a secondary species. What would the Egyptians have worshipped? Gallimimus? Would there be fish? Would they even be called fish? Would there be cars? Or would people just ride a Brachiosaurus to work? Perhaps a concavenator if you were late to work. The world wouldn't be the world. It would be a weird and complex situation between 23-ton animals and weird-looking humans. However it may be, whatever it could have become, I cannot deny that it would certainly be an interesting and fun world to live in. Would you want to live among dinosaurs?